How's it going, guys? Bibi here with another Bibi's Pick, a series where I pick an anime that I've seen in English and recommend it to all you awesome people at home. So this week I'm recommending See the Money of Soul and Possibility. See the Money of Soul and Possibility, or See Money as I like to call it because that is a mouthful to say, is an original series with 11 episodes following a young economics student named Kimimiro Yoga, who one day comes across a strange man spouting seemingly nonsense about getting enough money to secure his future. It turns out the way to this wealth is to become an entrepreneur or an entree and to fight alongside their assets, which are also their future. I know, it sounds really strange, but trust me, keep watching, you'll understand more soon. This series is definitely a strange one. It's about money, economics, battling, and a little bit of romance. I know that sounds really weird, and it really is, but it has a really interesting premise. Released in 2011, the series was produced by Koji Yamamoto and Tatsunoko Productions. This series has an amazing dub with a lot of really well-known voice actors, from Todd Haberkorn, who is best known as Natsu from Fairy Tail, Monica Rial, who is just in everything, Brenna Paliense, who is Hollow from Spice and Wolf, and of course my absolute favourite voice actor, J. Michael Tatum. He is in this as well, which, so glad that he is. He has a decent amount of screen time, which just makes me so happy. If you don't know who J. Michael Tatum is, shame on you, you should know this by now because I love him so much and I gush over him all the time. But he is best known for Tomoe from Kami-sama Kiss. He is also in Oran Host High School, as well as so many other series like Steins Gate. He is the main character in Steins Gate as well. He has an amazing voice and I could just go on about him for days, but we should probably get back to the recommendation. See Money is definitely a product of its time, with Japan going through a really bad recession because of the 2011 earthquakes and the tsunami, and they also just previously got out of another really bad recession back in 2009. This series definitely plays into the fear that a lot of people have when looking towards the future. When you're living day by day, paycheck by paycheck, and you don't know what's going to happen, it definitely makes you think about whether you would take up that offer of having potentially limitless money, but to give up your future. I myself came to the conclusion that I don't think that I would be able to do it. I would rather struggle for my money and not really have to fight and lose my so-called future. You guys will learn more about this when you watch the series. It is really quite a thought-provoking one. I don't know how accurate they are when it comes to economics and the use of stocks in the series. They could just be making up numbers and didn't really do much research into it, so take that as you will. You know, it's a series that has economics in it, but it's not, I don't know whether it's very true to form. It's kind of like how in Spice and Wolf they have a lot of economics in it, but because it's a fictional world, it's not really very trustworthy if you're trying to think about real world economics. I myself didn't really pay much attention to the economic part of the series. I did pay attention to the fact that if you go bankrupt, it's a bad thing and it will have a negative implication to your life, your future, and the real world itself. So those are the three main things that you really need to pay attention to. It's kind of like real life in that sense, because if you go bankrupt, that's not a good thing. This is how they introduce the battle element into the series. You fight with your asset. As I mentioned before, your asset is an embodiment of your future. And while they don't really go very far into how your assets are your future, which is a real shame because it would have been nice to learn a little bit more about that, at least they do state in the anime that even the assets themselves don't understand why they are an embodiment of someone's future. They don't know how they are an embodiment of people's futures. So anyways, you as an entree fight other entrees with their assets, and the way that you battle is you spend money to be able to do either small, medium or large attacks. And the thing that I found rather interesting that I only figured out on my second watch through is that you are literally bleeding money. So to go more into this, you fight in another world which is known as the financial district, which kind of makes sense with the whole money element, financial district. Anyways, so you fight in the financial district, and I noticed that when you get attacked and you get cut and you're bleeding, it is black, and that is because the money that you get is black. It's not like normal money, it's weird money, and you get black notes. So you are literally bleeding money, which I found really interesting. I thought there was just really bad censorship where they coloured in the colour of blood black just to get around, you know, it looking like blood. But no, they actually thought that far into it to make it that you are bleeding money. And even when they get attacked, if it's a big attack, you will see money like spraying out of them. It's really cool, and I liked that element of the series. The art style is kind of cheap looking. It definitely looks like that the series was made on a budget. They use CGI a lot in the series, but to be honest, it didn't really bother me. It kind of made sense, especially when they were in the financial district, or when they were using certain characters that are from the financial district. There were times where, for some reason, the main character, when they're in the real world, they will change into CG when they were previously 2D, which kind of didn't make sense and seemed slightly lazy. But for the most part, I actually thought that the CG was implemented into the series pretty well. I will definitely say that the main problem with the series is that it tries to be too many things at once. It tries to be a series about money and economics and the problem with the world, and then it tries to be a battle series where you're battling, and if you lose, you know, you have a big issue to deal with. And then towards the end they start to change it into a bit of a romance and a drama. It just tries to do a lot of things in a small amount of time. I mean, 11 episodes is not a lot of time to be able to stuff all of these things into one series. But in saying that, they did actually implement it quite well. All in all, the series is actually a really good watch. It's a reasonably obscure series that I'm pretty sure went under a lot of people's radars. So if you haven't seen this one, I do highly suggest checking it out. So if you guys do want to pick this series up, I will leave a link down below to where you can. It has a Blu-ray version on Amazon. I haven't been able to find it anywhere for New Zealand and Australia, which is a little bit of a shame. It might be on Madman somewhere, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. If I can find the links, they will be down in the description. So that was my Bibi's pick, See Money. What do you guys think of the series? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Let me know down in the comments below. I look forward to reading it all. While you're there, please make sure to give this video a big like and share it out to all your friends. Go down to the description to check all of my social media links, as well as where you can pick this one up for yourself. And I do have 2 ways for you to support the channel now. I have a Ko-Fi link where you can shout me a coffee and do a one-off donation, or you can become a Biblioteer on my Patreon, just like Bernard, Asperger Bear, Linwood and Mark Hall. They are all awesome Biblioteers, and you can become a Biblioteer by clicking that link down there, and you'll also end up being on the end card of each of my videos, so keep that in mind. So from Maya to Mika guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!